Today we're following Kragrok of the clan Hexjaws. He's an orc shaman. Although he's a beginner, quite inexperienced, he has great ambitions to become the best shaman there ever was and lead the boys on the greatest war campaign ever. But let's start from the beginning. And we start off with an introduction pretty much telling us that we are bound for greatness. And we start with a quest that pretty much tells us to pray at a shrine of either Gork or Mork. And so that's what we do. But first, we do the basics. We get some troops, we get some of the boys, the orcs, and we get to the shrine of Mork. And we pray to him, and we see what happens. After receiving the blessing, we get pretty much another chapter, telling us that our destiny is clear, and that we will be the best shaman there ever was.
He's gonna be the best shaman there ever was.
Absolute cinema voice acting right there. We also choose the Devotee perk for the faith, which means that every point we put into discipline and faith, we get more hit points, which is really good, because we're not gonna have any armor. We then move further north to look for some enemies, and we find a hideout of the Herimolt, and we quickly fight some of these Herimolt Bretonnians. And our boys are pretty eager, and so am I. We're able to close in pretty close, and I realized that I suck ass with this weapon. My one-handed skill is really, really low, and we swing like a grandma. But we're able to win, and we take no losses. Nice! I also then see that we have this WA meter, which really means the higher we go, the more bonuses we get. But the lower we are, the more debuffs we get on ourselves. And as you can see, the debuffs are pretty crazy. But especially when we get to the green, we get plus 20% damage dealt, but we also get plus 100% food consumed, but it doesn't matter really. And we get party size plus 120, and we also get automatic daily recruitment of tier 1 to tier 3 units, which is totally random. And the extra food consumed doesn't matter, because whenever you defeat a party as orcs, you get meat. Because you pretty much, you eat the people that you kill. We then head into another battle against some Bretonnian Herimolts, and I'm able to level up some of my one-handed skills by fighting these guys. We're lucky they're not using their bows. I don't know why. Maybe they're very confident? I don't know what they're doing, to be honest. We then also attack the hideout that we saw earlier. And I also use my prayer, or whatever it is, Call of the Green, which makes all our units affected by this buff glow, and they get enhanced and perform better in combat. We then see that we have a new quest, which is reach 150 spellcraft skill, reach 100 faith skill. We have to learn 5 orc enchantments, convert 125,000 worth of loot to teeth, and you have to loot 15 shrines. We then go and loot a shrine, Grove of the Lady, which was next to one of the hideouts that we just raided. And we also look at our career, which we can invest career points as we level up into whatever we choose here. And to also unlock the higher tiers, we have to complete the quests. After this, we also join a tournament, because I haven't really done this. And of course, we get a two-handed sword, which is absolutely ass for us. And we also have to fight a war boss. Oh, okay, hey. Can we get through his armor? Help. Blue boys, help me. We're able to outsmart the enemy, and we're able to be the last 1 out of 2, which will take us to the next fight. Yeah, we can't win that. And again, we have to fight Warboss Kazarak, which is extremely difficult to kill. But we somehow do it, which is surprising, to be honest. But sadly, we left against two-handed, and we don't really have much we can do here. We do get some help from an enemy archer, and I go for a kick that sadly misses. After this, we also go up against some cultists, and I try to use our spell that we start with, the Gaze of Mork. Holy hell. Which was way more powerful than I thought it would be. To be a starter spell is pretty decent. After this, we also sell a lot of the gear that we have gotten. And as you can see, we have a lot of meat from the parties we have been able to kill. And we buy a helmet. We also talked to Shaman Razglit of one of the Orc factions. And we asked to join as a mercenary. Because I want money. We need money. Speaking of money, we start raiding immediately because, of course, they're at war with someone, and someone has to pay for my boys. So we head into battle against the garrison, and I'm able to use, of course, my spells again, which is fun. And I also do a little bit of a buffing. We just got a new helmet, which honestly looks really cool. I'm able to slowly grind through the enemy garrison. Oh, we can't kick him. He's unkickable. But of course, we also get beaten because we somehow in this game we're bad at kicking. We only take 4 deaths as losses, which is fine. And after this, we just keep raiding. And after we're done, we of course leave. Luckily, we left before the 2 enemy armies were able to catch up with us. And we go back to Orkert and we sell the things that we got. We then stay in Orkert for a while until the enemy armies are gone. And we then move to the other side of the mountain, where we have a friendly army raiding Pusong. And of course, we're going to join. And so we join our first siege, and of course, I'm going to hide behind some wood because I'm scared. And that's exactly why I'm scared. Oh, damn! I try not to die too early and also be a little bit valuable because I'm known to die in sieges the first 10 seconds because I'm always one first charging in, which is really stupid, and I never learn from it. But here, I learn, and we do some enchantments while our other boys push in. And of course, I get tempted, and I get greedy, and I'm like, I want to get in there, you know? I want to get in there with my stick that we have gotten. We've got a shaman stick from Orkert, and of course the shaman stick surprisingly does no damage, because it's a stick. This is... oh! Yeah, this is chaos. I mean, my shaman stick doesn't do any damage, which is really sad. But we of course fall in battle, but the friendly army is able to take down the city and take it for themselves. We did get some rewards for joining. We got this banner worth 4k, and we also invest some more into our career. We then join a siege of Valenfort, which also has an enemy army right outside. But we jump into the siege. I try to do the same thing as last time. Even when hiding, we get headshot, boom, we're down. Of course, you have to take out the shaman, very high value target. But they're able to take this castle pretty easily, only 118 deaths. And we sit in the castle and the enemy army retreats. Then we go to outside of Pusong, where a friendly army is being attacked by some enemies. And we join to help, because our army is kind of high tier now. We have some black orcs under our banner, and if you know Warhammer, you know what black orcs are. And so we run into battle to help. We deal no damage with this staff. This staff is just literally a pool noodle. Thing is, if we can just push our army in here and disrupt their archers, and these guys can push forward, then it's a win. I just hope our ally will actually push forward once we meet the enemy here. Here, I did something really stupid. I thought that a friendly army would use their brain, and they didn't. This is something that you will see across all my videos, where I rely too much on friendly armies, hoping that they will be smart and, you know, play as a team. They never do. Never trust your teammates in Bannerlord. Just be very selfish. But here we push the enemy army pretty head on, and we're getting a lot of value. We're getting a lot of kills. To be such a small army pushing their front line, we get a lot of value. But, of course, I fall down myself. And of course, our friendly army is just standing there waiting for, I don't know. And they take a lot of unnecessary losses from just standing there, as the enemy archer line was disorganized for a while. But they're of course able to pull through because, hello, the enemy numbers are weakened. And it was a winning fight to begin with. That's why you're such a rat, because you're literally a goblin. And so we lost our army, we're kind of back to square one, so I just joined another siege because we have nothing better to do with the small army that I have left. Don't kill me! I just go back to buffing our army. And after this siege, we're actually reached clan tier 2, which is really good, really nice, happy about that. Oh, we're clan tier 2, nice, let's go! We then talk to Warlord Ogrok Cracktooth, and we ask him to become the vassal of this kingdom. Oh, and we have joined. Let's go. Finally. And surprisingly, we get a ton of units from him. I did not know this was something you would get, but we got over 200 troops that we could choose from and hire into our ranks just because we joined as a vassal. And what I do is something very cheeky. Since we're close to a settlement, I take all the troops under my command, even though it's over limit. We then go into the settlement and we donate troops that we don't need into the garrison, which will give us a lot of influence. Now, of course, our army is really high tier and there's a lot of them, so our army costs 2k a day, which is so much, especially for not having a fief. And with our new elite army, I decided to go out there and be brave, be bold, take risks, and so we go against an army that is twice our size. Probably kind of stupid, but hey, we run in, we got our formations. Somehow my helmet is missing. I don't know what happened. Maybe I stumbled, hit my head, lost the helmet. I don't know. I don't remember. But we meet the enemy line, I wait for formation to stand, and then I approach the enemy. Then I buff them and we head into battle. And we are surprisingly able to tear through the enemy like a meat grinder. Of course we fall to another headshot. People hate me, but we win and we get a ton of renown and influence. And after this, we go against a similar type of enemy. These are also Imperial. I think the last ones were Imperial, but these guys are besieged crossbowmen. These are elite crossbowmen with heavy armor, very scary. But we buff our army, we run in, and we see what we can do. We even got some small goblins helping us. Those little rats. And these guys we tear through even easier. We take some losses. We had 42 deaths, which makes sense because, well, these are crossbowmen. And we take the enemy lord as a prisoner. We also look through our army composition and we upgrade what we need to. As you can see, we have a lot of Black Orc brutes that we upgraded. We then find Lord Dengeir Flint Mantle. And we go up against dwarves for the first time. We are more powerful apparently according to the game. And we run in and we quickly realize that we're in the middle of Vietnam. Holy! I try to go around them and hurl some magic into their backs, but it doesn't really do anything. And I then see who's shooting the explosives and I try to go for them. And our axe can't even go through their armor. And we quickly just get put down, and our army just doesn't stand a chance to the enemy dwarves. Even though our army's quite elite with a bunch of black orcs, we can't kill them and we have to retreat. Now, some days later, we have recovered our army and we start raiding La Cremere of some wood elves. After we're done raiding them, we also raid another village, but before we can raid them, snipe y'all, boom! We have to fight the enemy garrison. And we do a little bit of a trick shot, which was absolutely sick. Yeah, you like my staff? It does 0 damage? Yeah. Everybody loves my style. Bonk. Okay, it went through my staff. You can't do that. You can stop hitting through my staff, bro! And we get slaughtered yet again. This is a theme throughout this video where I just get blasted. Now we have gathered an army ourselves and we go further north and we decide to siege Montfort, which is a city, because I need money and I need a city. But we are running out of cohesion for our army, and so I decide to just attack with what we have. And again, we buff our army and we get in there. Don't let me fall, please. No. Just move. Oh. We then sneak around the enemy army here, the garrison, and we're able to just hurl a nuke into their backs. I'm just gonna stand back here. Oh, reinforcements are coming. Let's go back a little bit. I don't want to get overwhelmed. That wasn't that good. Nice. Look at that. We got 72 kills. We then killed the last person in the keep. And we have officially taken the city of Montfort. Finally, we got our own fief. But we're still... Whoa, garrison minus 7k. Yo, what? And sadly, some days after the Montfort gets sieged, and I'm just like, okay, holy hell, we can't do anything. As no other friendly army wanted to react to this, Montfort was gonna go down. Our kingdom is really weird, the way our AI reacts. And so I decided to just focus on myself, and we decided to do the quest. And so we have to get a lot of skill into our faith and our spells. And the way to do that is, of course, farming, like we're doing here. And so we grind some enemies by blasting them with our spells. And we do that for a while. That was very underwhelming. And after some brawling, we have reached the skills needed for faith and spellcraft. And I donate the loot that we have left over for the values needed in Thief, because that's also a part of the quest. I also have some money left over, and so I wanted to get some new spells. They're not a part of the quest, but I wanted to check them out because they seem kind of cool. And so I buy them. They're kind of expensive. All three together, of course, but individually they're pretty cheap. And I also get 1 enchantment, because we need 5 of them. I then head into battle where we're able to try these new spells. And we're fighting against beastmen, which are kind of scary. Oh, goddamn. And here we try to TP, which I think is so cool that you can just TP a whole bunch of yourselves. We can teleport as well. Holy hell. And we also get the Artist Nails, which is a really, really good buff that just makes your units almost unkillable. We can also go back to farming because we need a lot of money to buy all the enchantments because they're quite expensive. And so we go and kill a lot of beastmen because there's a lot of beastmen in the area that I was roaming. And after a while of farming, we head back to Ogrok the Shaman and we buy the enchantments that we're missing. Which I think if you were to buy all the enchantments, it will cost you around 95k. We were missing one, and so I bought that one as well. And after some days of converting loot to thief, we also finished the whole quest. Which then gave us a new quest to become the great Shaman Lord. Which is pretty much the same quest, but just doubled. But you also have to capture 5 cities or castles. So after we finished this quest, we did get the new level of our career, which gives us new buffs, which the buffs are pretty decent. For example, getting 50 more toughness, which I believe is armor, and you also get 60 more party group limit, for example, on Brutal Cunning. Now, the Cunning Brutality side is kind of lacking. I felt like the base 3 were kind of better than the Cunning Brutality on tier 2, but it is what it is. There's clearly a lot that you can do for orcs, and it's really cool. This mod is really cool. If you want to play it yourself, it's in the description or pinned comment. I don't know, you have to check yourself. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, then drop a like, maybe subscribe if you feel like it, and tell me what you thought about this in the comments down below. And I'll see you another time.